Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Hawkshot, brought to you by Enigma Esports. This is the show that sweeps the brushes of the League of Legends pro scene in order to bring you the biggest news stories and the best games. This week we will be taking a closer look at the Allstars tournament, checking out the latest roster changes, and celebrating the holidays with a giveaway. So, first things first. Last weekend, the best and brightest of the LoL pro scene descended on the North American LCS's new studios in California for All-Stars 2015. 5 players were handpicked by fans to represent each major region. The regions were then split into either Team Fire or Team Ice and took part in several games to accumulate points. The team with the most points by the end of the 4 days was the winner. Simple really. The first match of the weekend was also one of the most hotly anticipated and try-harded matches, as the European All-Stars looked to defend their region's pride against the North Americans, who were representing Team Fire. The North American players came out strong to start and managed to pull out a few early kills, as Bjergsen and Doublelift looked particularly deadly. Something that couldn't be said of Dyrus, who went for his fan-favourite champion Singed. The win was not on though, as the rest of Europe managed to pull the NA All-Stars focus to the mid lane, while Huni dusted off his split-pushing skills on Jax to break open the base, and a few hollows later, the Nexus fell, snuffing out Team Fire members. On the Saturday, Europe also looked to make up for their semi-final losses in the World Championships, and proved that the bird is indeed the word, as they locked in both Anivia and Quinn against the All-Stars from Korea's LCK, as top laner Marin fell prey time and time again to their awesome avians. A 25-minute Baron pickup allowed the members of Team Ice to force their way into the base and secure a 10-kill lead, with the Nexus falling a mere 7 minutes later. The last laugh was had by the LCK squad though, as they eventually swept the Europeans 2-0 in the finals of the 5v5 tournament. Probably the most fun part of the event was when the action shifted from the Summoner's Rift to the Howling Fjord, as champions clashed in the 1v1 tournament. One player however managed to rise above the rest to become the Grand High Troll, despite being knocked out in the semi-final match. That was of course Froggen. A gentlemanly agreement with Faker led to the two giants participating in an Anivia mirror match. Frost flashed everywhere in this farm fest, until Froggen came out victorious against the 2-time world champion. After beating Koro and Afromu, he faced Doublelift in the semis, and gave us the biggest WTF moment as he tagged a basing Doublelift with the snowball, following through and getting pulled to the opposing fountain, not once but twice, as the game was remade by player agreement. But as all great things must end, so did the Great Dane's final hopes. It might have been the 4 games back-to-back in the cold, it might not have been. But despite a valiant effort, Lift was beaten in the final by his fellow teammate and the new king of 1v1s himself, Bjergsen, also giving Team Fire the points they needed to win All-Stars. Now, I'm not sure if we have ever mentioned this before, but the latest Intel Extreme Masters event will soon be upon us. IEM Cologne begins this Friday at the ESL studios and will see 6 of the top League of Legends teams battling it out. We now know that Fnatic and H2K Gaming will be representing Europe after winning the fan vote. They'll be joining Korea's Ever, China's Xiaogu, and representing North America, Team Dignitas and Cloud9. The action kicks off at 5 PM Central European Time, and in case you miss it all, don't worry, it will be covered in our next episode. We come now to what is ultimately my favourite part of the show and off-season: roster changes! Players still haven't fully settled into their respective teams yet, so be aware that things could change post-recording, and any news will be in the video's description. The biggest news of the week is undoubtedly that Fnatic's longest-serving player has left the organisation. Yes, like so many others, Yellowstar is taking a leap across the pond and has been confirmed as Team Solo Mid's latest support, sharing the bot lane now with Doublelift. Another long-serving player may also be looking for a new team, Gambit's very own Diamond Prox, who's played with the team in every split of the EU LCS, has been rumoured to be potentially joining the Unicorns of Love, following Gambit selling their LCS spot. There's been a huge shake-up at H2K's camp as they seemingly weren't happy after being knocked out of the group stages at Worlds. Ryu and Odoamne are all that remains of last year's team, and while nothing is set in stone yet, they will be joined by Vander, Jankos and Forgiven for IEM Cologne. Behind the scenes, Prolly has returned as the squad's head coach, and will be assisted by Veteran as their new analyst. Elsewhere, after announcing tryouts for the top and mid lane last month, it comes as no surprise that Werlib and Frederick have left Giants Gaming. As mentioned earlier, Gambit Gaming have sold their spot in the European LCS. But to who? Well, the answer is Vitality, a French-based team who have more than a few familiar faces in their roster, which is made up of Cabochard in the top, Shook jungling, Nukeduck will be making a welcome return to the mid lane, and the bottom lane will be in the hands of Hjarnan and Kising. Overseeing the team will be their coach, Shawns. It's going to be really interesting to see how well this team can gel before the season starts. Speaking of new squads, Immortals, who acquired teammates earlier this year, have announced their NA roster. And there will be terror in the top lane, as Huni and Rainover have joined the squad. Their synergy is insane, and will certainly make an impact on their opposition. Pobelter is taking charge of their mid lane, and Wild Turtle and Adrian will hope that their pairing in the bot lane lives up to their team's name. Finally, in other news, Quas, Team Liquid's Venezuelan jungler, has announced his retirement from the professional team. Sad to see you go, Quas. Jesus will be playing for Team Dignitas at IEM Cologne, due to Kiwi Kid not being able to attend the event. Top lane champion of the world, Marin, has been confirmed to have moved over to LGD Gaming. Taking Marin's spot at SK Telecom will be Duke, formerly of Najin EM Fire. It has been a while since we last checked in on our favourite team here, and Enigma Esports are doing very well for themselves, as they have managed to qualify for the round of 8 matches on their side of the bracket for the Challenger Series Open Qualifier. Having had a no-show in the first round and a 20-minute stomp in the second against Circus Gaming, Enigma will be looking to knock over Tilt Nation with their latest roster of Zergoff in top, Memento in jungle, Caps in the mid lane, AD carry Sliver, and Clashback on support. Good luck, Enigma, not that you guys all need it, of course. If you're like me and are filled with the Christmas spirit, then great, good for you guys, you're my kind of people. If not, then we here at Hawkshot are going to change all that by giving 2 more lucky viewers a chance to win another €10 worth of RP. To be eligible to win, you need to have an account within the EU West or any regions, so just click the link in the description box below this video to enter and possibly get a pre-Christmas boost to your league funds. Finally, don't forget that a new season of professional league action will soon be upon us as the road to Worlds begins anew. The 5 major regions will be kicking off on the following days. The LCK will begin on Wednesday the 13th of January. China's LPL, the LMS and the European LCS all start on the 14th. And last, but hopefully not least this year, is the North American LCS on the 16th of January. Plenty of time to recover from the new year and break all your resolutions. And that's it for this week, guys. We will be back in a couple of weeks to bring you more of the news you need to know. Join the discussion on Twitter by using the hashtag Hawk and leave us any feedback, it is always appreciated. Also, make sure you support Enigma Esports on all the social medias listed below. Have a fantastic holiday season, guys. I've been Matthew Brimstone Taylor, and it's time for me to go on cooldown.